A riddle for you. What is the best block? Now, we get a lot of students, they say the high block. And they say that because I'm always talking about the main reason we do karate is to protect the pretty. And the high block is awesome for protecting the pretty. One of our friends in junior high, Randy, he thought the whole world revolved around the X block. X block. It was like the best block, nothing could get past it. Yeah, but how would you like to X block a lightsaber? I mean, honestly, if I were to X block the lightsaber, it's going to go through my arms and still cut me in half anyway, right? And really the best block in the world, shouldn't it work for any attack? So the answer to the riddle is the best block in the world is to not be there. That could mean that somebody's swinging a lightsaber at your head, you don't block it, you duck it, and you get away from it. But it could also mean that you don't take the shortcut down the dark alley, even though it's going to get you there faster. It could mean that you don't go stupid places where stupid people are doing stupid things, and you just stay away from that which is going to injure you. That is the best block. Don't be there in the first place. You know, some people might say human decency, I should be able to do whatever I want. It's a free country, but you have to keep in mind safety. And you don't want to put yourself in a dangerous situation and have danger come upon you. If you feel like you do have to get into one of those situations, just be aware it could be dangerous and have self-defense in mind when you go there. So with that, to start teaching you the dodging drill, the first thing we're going to have to teach you is the extension to the 24 count. The 24 count stick pattern, you end with the 24, you grab it with that two hands. There is a whole extra 8 strikes that are two-handed strikes after that that are used in the Kali dodging drill. Let's take a look at that. Let's examine the first dodge. If you look at the angle, the opponent lifts the weapon first and then drops it down at a 45-degree angle. You don't want to run the direction that the lightsaber's going. If I try to move off to his left side, he's going to end up cutting off my butt. I can't fart anymore, and then I get really angry, so you don't want that to happen. Instead, it seems counterintuitive, but you want to run the direction that the lightsaber was, not the direction the lightsaber is going. That's going to put you off to the side of it. Run to the danger. Run to the danger. It seems weird. So a couple of things to help you out with this. First thing is, I want to get my body angle to change to match the angle of the strike. So that if I don't move my feet, I'm not going to get hit. But if I just leave my feet here and I just dodge, he's just going to come back really fast the other way and I'm going to get cut again. So it's important that I don't want to fight two of the shoulders. I only want to fight one shoulder and be off to this angle. So the angle of my body is created by my foot stepping in that direction. From there, I don't want to leave my foot behind because it could very easily get me in the way. So I want to swing it around and get towards his shoulder. I know I'm close enough if I can reach out and touch it. If I'm too far away, I can't stop him and he can still reach me. Now, if you're familiar with that, angle 4 is just coming the opposite direction. So you just have to angle and go the opposite way with the other footwork. Here's an exercise to help you practice the first two angles. You're just going to take what I showed you and you're going to loop it together. So your opponent's going to stand in front of you. They're going to come down with the first angle. You're going to step in and pivot, reach out and touch their shoulder. They're going to wait until you touch the shoulder. As soon as you touch the shoulder, they're going to come in. I'm going to step the opposite foot, come around, touch the shoulder. And then he's going to do it again. Come back to that first angle. I step around, touch the shoulder. He does it again. I step around and touch the shoulder. And you just keep doing that until you're comfortable with it. Maybe you trade and you get to play with the lightsaber this time. Slightly more advanced version of that, when you're comfortable with that, your partner's just going to stand there with it in front of him. He's going to choose in the last second the side it's coming from. And you're just going to have to decide where your block is going. Oh, I got cut that time. And that's part of the fun of the exercise. Now, ignoring the fact that this is a lightsaber, it's actually a toy. In real life, the best block is to combine your dodge with a block. So when you start going fast like this, you can actually reach out and block the lightsaber, block the arm. I wouldn't recommend doing that with a sword or with a real lightsaber, but if it's a club or even somebody's punch, it would work out the same way. Let's take a look at the angle of the second dodge. This one is going the opposite, starting from the lower corner, traveling 45-degree angle up. It's a similar path, so if you're running the direction that the weapon's going, they're going to cut off your butt again and you can't fart anymore. So we're utilizing that same counterintuitive idea of dodging the direction that the weapon came from and trying to get control of that shoulder. The first dodge, what I had to worry about getting out of the way was the head. The second dodge, what he's aiming for is the leg. So I need to change the position of my leg to make my body match the angle the strike's coming from. So to set this up, my very first thing I do is I step in the direction that the weapon's coming from. That automatically changes my body to this slight 45-degree angle. From there, I change my weight to my front foot. All I have to do is pick up this other foot and gate swing back. I want to be close enough that I can reach his shoulder. If I can reach his shoulder, he can try to hit me and I can change his angle a little bit by controlling him. If I'm too far away, he can just swing and hit me. I can't stop him. I'm not going to be fast enough moving away. This is also the same as the angle 3. The angle 3 is coming up the opposite direction. I step that way first, then I swing the rest of the foot around and I try to gain control of that shoulder. Let's put that together in an exercise. The same way we did the first one. It's going to be predictive because I'm going to stand here and I know his first strike is coming towards this leg. I'm going to pivot this way, touch that shoulder. Then he's going to come back the other way. I'm going to step, pivot, touch the shoulder. Now with all these exercises, you want to make sure you're touching that shoulder because if you're getting too far away, it's going to make it harder to dodge. The closer you are, the easier it's going to be able to read their movement. So you can just keep repeating that until you're comfortable. He swings to that foot, he swings to that foot. He swings to that foot, he swings to that foot. Then just like we did in the other one, you can then expand to the point where I don't know what's coming at. He's just going to hold the weapon in front of him. He's going to do it, I'm going to have to get out of the way. He's going to come again, I'm going to have to change what angle am I going at to be able to dodge, pull, until you get hit. And that's all part of the fun of it, right? Let's take a look at the third dodge. This is used for number 5 and number 6. You'll notice that the opponent is starting with the weapon on one side and is moving it level to the opposite side. In order to get out of the way of the lightsaber or the sword or the stick, whatever he's swinging at you, I need to be able to create a little bit of space without creating too much space. It's a delicate balance. Here's what I'm talking about. When he swings at me, if I move all the way back here to get out of the way, I now am going to cover all this distance to come back in, and he's going to hit me on the backswing. What I need to do is just step back with one foot. You'll notice this gave me a little bit of distance. I'm almost out of the way of that weapon, even if he reaches a little bit. Now I just add my hinge, and now I can add the extra distance to the tip of the weapon. If I stay here, though, I'm going to get myself hit. So here's the key. He swings, I move myself out of the way, and then I'm going to step back in to reach for the shoulder. From that point, I'm going to do my gate swing to move off to the opposite side. At this point, the next strike is coming from the opposite angle. So what you'll notice is that I'm going to step back and hinge my body, then I'm going to step forward in the direction it came from and pivot off to the side so I can be next to it. You can now loop those two angles together to make a dodging drill to get used to those angles. The way that would work, I would step back as he comes in, I hinge myself back, come into his shoulder. He's going to wait for me to get there before he does the next swing. I'll step back and then step in and pivot. He'll do it again. I'll step back and I'll step in. And we'll just keep repeating the drill until we're comfortable with it or until I get hit. That's part of the fun part. From there, you can add the other two parts for it. Just very important for right now for your partner when they're doing the various strikes to start the weapon in an area that's going to let you know. If he's going to do a downward angle, he wants his weapon to be that way. If he wants me to dodge low, he wants his angle to be down. If he wants me to dodge in the middle, he's going to put his angle there. So to show you what that would look like, we could be moving around like we're sparring. He moves at an angle, that's where I'm going to go to. He moves at an angle, that's where I'm going to go to. Until you get hit, and that's part of the fun part. Maybe you can switch and now swing the lightsaber to hit. The final dodge has two angles associated with it. One is a straight stab, the other one is a vertical strike coming straight down. Both of these attacks are going to have the same response from the defender. Main priority being moving off to the side and then turning. Most of us are thinner this way than we are this way. So just by simply turning my body sideways, I present a smaller target for him to hit, which is why most fencing is done from a direct side stance. Now, outside of just turning off to the side, if I just turn off to the side and I stay here, it's real easy for him to turn back and hit me. I need to be able to close that distance as well. So in this case, I'm going to turn and step all at the same time. Look at how much closer I got to him. If he comes down straight down with the overhand strike, it's the same thing. I'm going to turn my body, I'm going to step closer to him and off of that center line. What direction I go is going to kind of depend on what foot he has forward. If he's got this foot forward and he swings down and I move this way, I got out of the way, but look how easy it is for him to swing and hit me again. On the other hand, if he's got this foot forward and he does a straight swing, if I can turn and come off to this shoulder, it's a lot harder for him to just turn and hit me. He's got to change his feet, and that's going to buy me some extra time. To put these two together for an exercise, you want to try dodging each one in a different direction to get used to moving both to the left and to the right. Again, this is going to be predictive. Your partner's going to move slow and deliberate to give you the chance to get out of the way. And it's going to start with the pattern of he's doing the stab, I'm going to step off to the side. He's doing the chop, I'm going to step off to the side. And each time, come to a point where you can touch him on the shoulder so that you know that you're not getting too far away from him. Once you're comfortable with that, you can then put it together with all of the other techniques. Again, just like we said before, it's important for the partner at this point to make very deliberate movement for what strike he's going to do. If he's going to do an overhead strike, he's going to pull it straight up above his head. And then that way I'm going to know I'm going to dodge. If he's going to do a stab, he's going to pull that hand right next to him so I know he's going for a stab. If he's going for an upward strike, he wants to point that down at an angle so that I know where that's going. Other than that, we can just move around and I can try to stay away from him, and then I'm going to look at what he's doing. He's going to start moving pretty slow for me. And if I get hit, that's okay. That's part of the fun part. And I want to try not to get too far away like I just did. And again, you can trade off. You get the lightsaber, let the other person dodge. It's a very fun exercise. Let's go and put that all together now that we're comfortable with all the different dodging angles. The dodging drill itself is set up to follow the extended 8 count after the 24 count, the two-handed pattern, which that pattern is designed for a heavy weapon and keeping that weapon flowing. But it also helps the person dodging because you'll notice the angle changes constantly, and that's going to keep me on my toes. So it starts from the first angle coming the up direction. I'm going to do my angle, my step, and my pivot. The second one is coming from down below, so I'm going to step, pivot around, touch the shoulder. Then he's going to come the opposite way from the bottom up, and I step around. He comes the last angle from the downside, and I pivot off to the side. From there, he does the swing. I step back, and then I step in and pivot. He comes back the other way. I step back and angle, and then I come off to the side and pivot. He comes for a stab. I move off to the side. He comes down for a chop. I move off to the side. And you can just keep repeating that as an exercise, or you can then trade and swing it in.